Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Let's Play IL-2 Sturmovik Free French Ironman campaign. Where here we are once again. Here's the squadron in its entirety. Where are we? We're halfway up the list now. Look at us. We've through dead men's shoes and surviving missions, we've managed to move up halfway through the roster. 8 missions and 11 victories for Pilot Officer Gaston. Yeah, everyone else is here, of course, as well. Our current commander is Flight Lieutenant Francois Lacombe. We've gone through a couple of squadron leaders, I think, at this point. But, you know, we're all still here, some of us anyway. Like little Henri, who must be protected at all costs. He's done 3 missions and 1 victory so far. And Victor is still here. We haven't flown with him for a while, but Victor, our practical joker, is still very much in the squadron. Yeah, it's good stuff. Right. In fact, we don't have either of the Eds anymore. One of them was killed, and the other one I think is having an extended stay in hospital. And on that note, actually, I've discovered, after I went back and after the whole sort of, after the last recording session I finished, I decided to go back and look through the documentation for the campaign generator, and I discovered that when you get seriously injured, like Gaston was a few missions ago, actually, what you're meant to do, this is how it works, and it's a bit weird, but there are reasons for why they've done it this way. But what you actually are supposed to do, I think you're supposed to go to personnel, administer pilots, is it, possibly? No. There's an option here somewhere. Activity. Leave. This button here, leave, very important. Request leave is what it means. It doesn't mean leave the menu, which is what I thought it did, or leave the squadron. It means as in leave, as in, you know, a holiday. And basically, if you get seriously injured, what you're supposed to do is hit the leave button, and then it will take you out of the game and then pop you back in again once your time in hospital is done. So Gaston, really, technically, is owed like at least a few weeks in hospital. A few weeks leave, so maybe we'll get him some at some point. But yeah, he's actually owed some time off, but I denied it to him by reactivating him manually in the personnel menu because I didn't understand how it worked at the time. Now I do, though, at least. There you go. I figured that out. Folks in the comments probably alerted me to that. I just haven't had a chance to read them yet. So anyway, I figured it out for myself by reading the goddamn manual, like you're supposed to do. So anyway, it's time to generate, once again, a new mission. What are we going to get this time? My money's on patrol, everyone. I'm thinking patrol. Okay, what have we got? Weather's overcast. Oh, good. At low altitude with rain. Ground covering fog possible. Okay, so the weather is atrocious. And the primary objective is close air patrol over our troops near Nijmegen. Or Nijmegen. Engage any enemy aircraft you encounter as a first priority. Attack targets of opportunity on the ground. Oh, interesting. Okay. That's a bit unusual. Find pilots. Just 2 of us? I don't think so. I think I should be changing that. I want at least 4 people on this. Okay, yeah, close air patrol over the troops on the ground. So we want to keep our eyes out apparently for ground targets and air targets, but the air targets are priority 1. Basically. Interesting. Cloud layer is 1143 meters. That's important because I want to make sure that our patrol waypoints are not higher than this, so we end up patrolling in the clouds, which would be extremely stupid. We want to be under the clouds. So, next to the map. I don't think Nijmegen's that far from us, actually, so this hopefully won't be a very long flight, at least. Oh, no, I take it back. It's all the way over there, because Operation Market Garden hasn't actually started yet, I forgot. Got my timeline all wrong there. Oh, in fact, ooh! No. Market Garden has begun. The first paradrops have happened, because look at the front lines, folks. We have friendly troops at Eindhoven, and at Nijmegen, and at Arnhem. We are actually flying close air patrol over the paratroopers at Nijmegen and Arnhem right now. Our Market Garden is actually happening. Oh, that's really cool. I guess we missed out on the actual power drops themselves, which is a bit of a shame. But that might be because of my mission settings, unfortunately. I think some of the event missions like that, I don't know if they actually trigger if you've got the mission generation settings set low enough. That's fine. I mean, it probably would have looked quite impressive, but it also would have run like garbage, so whatever. Anyway, yeah, Market Garden is actually officially capital H happening. Yeah. We have friendly troops at Arnhem and Nijmegen, and our priority job is going to be to assist them in any way we can, mostly by shooting down enemy planes, trying to attack them, and also if we see any jerrys on the ground worth shooting at, we shall definitely do so, although trying to spot anything on the ground in this kind of weather is going to be really, really, really dodgy. But anyway, we'll give it a go. All squadrons. I don't think there are any other squadrons, are there? It's just us. Okay. Next, the waypoint screen. So, okay, yes, it's put us under the clouds, thankfully. That's the main thing I cared about. Next, pilots. We definitely want at least 4. I say this, actually, because while I was reading the documentation, there was a very handy tips section in the documentation on how best to survive. And one of the tips was make sure you have at least 4 people in your flight whenever you go out. And another one, interestingly, was try and do your best to protect your wingmen and make sure they survive as long as they can, because apparently the longer they survive, the better their skill gets, and therefore the better their AI gets. So if we want to have a crack squadron of elite AI wingmen who are really, really good, we're going to have to try and ensure that they actually survive. So that's good. So let's see. Luke Kunch is leading. We got us in second place. We shall assign. Why don't we? Oh God, I'm going to pick Victor, and I can just tell that this is going to be his last mission as a result. I pointed the finger of death at him, and now he's going to die. Gaston, we definitely you're going to be in your Mark 9, of course. And who else should we bring? Henri? Yeah, why not? Little Henri at the back, Victor, Gaston, and Luke. We'll give you 150 octane fuel, E-type wings, mirror, 150 octane fuel, mirror. We'll have the really nice fuel for this one, I think. Tempted to go with clipped wings, actually, for this one. Now I think about it, that might not be a terrible idea. Nah, I'm fine with that, I think. Yeah, E-type mirror, 150 E-type mirror. Okay, we're in a very low altitude configuration right now. Everyone else in 14's me and my Mark 9, because I'm a backwards dinosaur and I think the Mark 14 is cursed. Really, I'm genuinely, I'm scratching my head with that Mark 14, because I went back and I looked at the footage from the mission we flew in it, and the temperature gauges definitely did not indicate an engine failure being a thing. What I did miss was engine failure messages popping up on the techno chat at the side of the screen, because I was too busy, aiming at the enemy at the time. So naturally I missed that. But, yeah, I don't know why the engine failed, if I'm completely honest with you. I have no idea why the engine failed in the Mark 14, because I had kept the temperatures well within limits, as far as I'm aware anyway. Perhaps the temperature limits are different on the 14, but there it is. So that plane confuses me greatly, along with all its other little quirks, like the way it swerves in the opposite direction on takeoff, and it starts spawned in with the prop pitch set all wrong. Yes, suffice to say, I'm not a fan of the Mark 14 in the game. It's a bastard. I hate it. So yeah, okay. Right, accept mission. And ladies and gentlemen, I shall join you on the runway as we take off in some rather ghastly weather. Alright folks, we're in. I'm just about to hit the start button. I thought I'd show you the briefing screen though, because it's quite funny how the power drops have completely caused IL-2 to lose its mind. Front line goes all the way down here and loops back up this way, and then look at this noodly nonsense. I love it. I just thought I'd show you that because that was funny and it made me laugh. But yes, the game engine is just doesn't understand how to handle the paratroops, apparently. So might have some interesting consequences if we end up bailing out, I now realise. But anyway. Okay, cool. Let's start. I don't get a lot of time in between hitting the start button, usually, and actually pressing record. Because it jumps in, you pause like this, and immediately we have to take off. So if I unpause, set the TrackIR button, open the canopy, said open the canopy. Oh, it's raining, alright. Off we go. Whoa! Oh, okay, we're good. I wasn't quite ready for it then. That's what she says, etc., etc. Gear up. Close the canopy. Lower our RPMs. And yeah, need to be careful with the boost today because I'm using 150 octane fuel. So we've got a bit more oomph under the bonnet today than we otherwise normally would have. But that's that. Taking off, as you can see, incredibly low cloud cover we're flying under today. And yet, it is more than a little windy and turbulent. I'm bouncing around a lot right now. Bounce around so much it's giving me this weird feeling like I'm playing on 2 times speed, but I'm obviously not. But yes, I will endeavour to keep things under control as we make our way to the front lines, such as they are, and all their noodly goodness, as we make our way towards Nijmegen anyway. Alright folks, how are Victor and Henri? Are they catching up? I hope so. Oh god, where are you going, dude? I wanted to get a mod installed for today, but it wouldn't download in time because it's downloading from a website that has an incredibly nasty throttle on the downloads for it. It's like it's downloading like 100 megabytes. No, sorry, like 100 kilobytes a second. It's ridiculously slow. Some mod I found on the IL-2 forums, which apparently totally redoes and overhauls the radio chatter in the game to make it much more lively and immersive and interesting and stuff. And I really wanted to give that a go today, but unfortunately, as I said, it wouldn't download in time. Still got like an hour left on the download as I speak, in fact, so never mind, maybe next time. Anyway, see you later, folks. We're on our way. Yep, as you can see, we're in formation. That's Victor over there. That is Henri. Oh, there he is. Just hiding behind my cockpit panel there. And that smoke down there is presumably evidence of 30 Corps' push to meet up with the paratroopers towards the northeast. There's more over in that direction as well. But yes, the paratroops have been dropped up over yonder in this direction we're headed right now. And the Allied armoured ground troops are going to be trying their best to push their way from here all the way up to there to link up with them. And of course, as we know from history, they're not going to make it all the way to Arnhem, and the operation is going to be a failure. But we will therefore, nevertheless, do our best to do what we can to try and make it less of a failure, I suppose. Alright folks, we're just about to fly over Nijmegen itself, although I actually don't see currently any Germans. We haven't spotted anything like that. No ground targets either, but you can see the city is on fire somewhat. There's definite smoke plumes in the air. Oh, we are actually now turning. Perhaps flight lead has spotted something right on cue. Guess we'll find out. Jostled around by the wind still. Shouldn't really be looking. I should be looking in the sky, not the ground, but still. See, that's why, because before you know it, the wingman's just disappeared. But yeah, the fighting has definitely begun down there. Making a right turn now. I can see planes. Yeah, they're Germans right in front of us. Looks like one pair of 110s. Alright. Let's have them. They do have rear gunners, these boys, so we've got to be a little bit careful. Some piss poor shooting by yours truly. Okay, that was better. Oh dear, come on, TrackIR, behave yourself. Make sure no one's sneaking up behind us. See if we can finish the job. Apparently not. Where's the bugger gone? Shouldn't be that hard to lose him. Okay, I lost him in the middle of that manoeuvre apparently. No idea where he's got to. Lucky bastard. Alright, fine. We got him pretty good. I'm sure he's at least out of the fight, if nothing else. Is that him up there? Or is this just a different one that's going hell for leather with his engines? Yeah, I think he's just going hell for leather with his engines. That was exhaust smoke.
Rabbit 2, engaging fighter to the southeast, range half mile, out.
I think I saw some tracer fire coming up then. I think that might have been ground fire. Trying to escape into the cloud cover, that's pretty smart, I have to admit. Alright boy, let's have you. Sawed part of his wing off.
Target destroyed.
I think we've got him good. Gaston seems to think so anyway. Right. My frame rate's suffering a little bit here, but let's try and keep an eye out for anyone else. I'm really struggling to get my head moved around properly right now. My TrackIR is not really cooperating as much as I'd like it to. Shoot! That was a panic pull on the stick there. That is pal swooped down on me. I almost didn't notice him. Got a few holes in the wing, but we're otherwise okay, I think. Where did the bastard go? There he is. He's coming straight at us, isn't he, almost? I don't want to get in an actual head-on with one of those things, because they have nasty, nasty guns in the front of them. I think, judging by the rushing wind sounds as well, there's probably a hole or two in the canopy. Alright, you bastard. I'll have you. I think I've set them on fire. I'm down to be machine guns anyway. But he's not going anywhere. Except for the ground. I'm surprised he hasn't tried to bail out yet. Hello, just noticed behind us. Right, yeah, he's going down. What I've got is my little 303 machine guns left now. Yeah, it looks like they bailed out. I see two parachutes. BF-110s, of course. Heavy fighters with two crewmen, the pilot and the rear gunner. Terrible aircraft, really quite dreadful. Absolute death traps. They were sort of the very quickly abandoned heavy fighter concept that people came up with early in World War II that turned out to be a terrible idea. Oh, this guy wants our blood, that's for sure. Shot down 2 of his pals, I don't blame him. Having said all of that, though, about the 110, it does have some nasty armament, and it's always a mistake to underestimate it completely. I saw something in the rearview mirror then. Ooh. Where's the rest of our squadron got to? I'm increasingly anxious about that, you know. I think that was a Spitfire that just flew past, actually. At least I hope to God it was. I feel like we're riding on the edge of a blackout here constantly now. Trying to keep up with this fella. Come on, you bugger. So we get a few shots into him so I can discourage him enough to leave me alone. I'm trying to keep my eye on him. Alright, that's us completely out of ammo. Saw traitors go past me then. That is... Oh, thank goodness. It's one of ours. Woohoo! Alright. God, this wind is brutal. It's really throwing off my aim. I don't want to make excuses, but it really has been quite tricky. Between that and my slightly dodgy rudder pedals, it's been a bit of a job. I mean, you can see when I move them about sometimes. Yeah, you see that when they twitched down the bottom of the cockpit there? Yeah. They do that every now and again. The sensors in my rudder pedals are a bit mucky, I think. I need to open the thing up with a screwdriver and clean it all, I'm afraid. Why do it feel like you're all following me? Oh, wait, no, you're not. You're just engaging that 110 that I made a start on. Well, I hope you can finish it off, pal, because I'm out of ammo. I can act as bait for you if you like. Keep an eye on those temps. So we could just keep flying around here until the bastard runs out of coolant. Because I'm pretty sure he's leaking coolant. It's either that or fuel. Hopefully it's coolant though, because that means those engines will die a lot faster. Well, we've located one of our squadron. I don't know where the rest have gone. Bearing in mind it was only supposed to be 2 of us on this mission according to the generator until I put my foot down and said absolutely not. I think we would have had our hands full, that's for sure. If it had just been 2 of us. So I'm going in again. Part of me really hopes it's Victor. When the rest of the squadron has abandoned me in the past, he stuck around. I think maybe that's true of today as well. There's the 110. There's our man. I'm going to slot him behind him, I think. Watch his tail. See what he gets up to. That 110 crash landed. Oh no, it's just a smudge on the ground. I thought maybe it had gone in. There's said 110. Mate, you're going to have to slow down. You keep overshooting it. surely going to crash soon, this thing. It's being very stubborn, isn't it? If I were it, I probably would have bailed out some time ago, frankly. I don't think you can outrun a Spitfire in that thing. You can't outrun a Spitfire, you can't outturn it, and frankly, I don't think you can outclimb it either. It's part of the reason why the BF-110 is so dreadful. Because it's just bad at everything. But anyway, having said that, I think I was going to say this earlier before I got interrupted by something. Unless I'm repeating myself, in which case I apologise. I sometimes do that under stress. But having said all the terrible things about the 110, part of me is what really fancies the idea of doing a career mode in the 110, just to get that real underdog feeling, you know. Best thing to do really would be a co-op campaign with someone in multiplayer. I've seen people do it before, where one person is the pilot and one is the gunner. That's where you can have some real fun. But still. I saw his rear gunner shooting at someone, but I don't see a Spitfire anywhere. Other than me. What's our course right now? About 255. Kind of going in the direction of home anyway, so I'm going to keep following this 110 and see what happens. There you go, perfectly framed inside the shattered shell of my canopy. Probably shouldn't be so cocky, actually. That machine gunner in the back probably still has ammo, you know. Oh, is he heading for this airfield here? Oh, this is a German airfield. I don't know if there's any planes parked down there. Oh, there's one or two, yeah. Oh dear Lord, what is he doing? I think I just saw a Spitfire fly past. Yeah, there we go. They're out of ammo, our squadron mate there. He would have actually said so over the radio, so I think he's just making a pig's ear of attacking this thing. Unfortunately. But, well, like I said earlier in the briefing screen, hopefully we can keep this guy, whoever he is, around long enough, he'll actually learn how to shoot straight. Oh, just noticed that dirty great hole in my wing there. I don't appreciate that, you know. There's the 110 circling around back there. Will you just crash, for heaven's sake? Maybe it's trying to land, actually. In fact, I think it is. He's turned on his nav lights. Oh, friendly Spitfire, I think he's broken off. He's decided to let him live. Very chivalrous of you, sir. I'm going to do something now that is probably a little stupid. I'm going to buzz the guy and give him a bit of a fright before we leave. Throttle to maximum. Wow, look at him crabbing into the wind or whatever there. He turned off his nav lights to go evasive. Yeah, you're all right, mate. You live today. You German pig. This time you get to survive. Alright, let's get ourselves home, shall we? Is my directional gyro still working? My artificial horizon is completely screwed. I think so is the gyro. Flying too many upside down loops, I'm afraid that'll do that. I think if we fly straight and level for long enough, our pilot actually manually readjusts the gyro to match the compass at the bottom of the cockpit there, down there behind the stick. And that's what happened that time, and it just sort of randomly leaped back into action. So I think if I just fly straight and level for a bit. Actually, no, I should turn this way. So at least fly straight and level in the correct direction. How about that? Okay. Hopefully the gyro will sort itself out. Which, I mean, Gaston will reach down there and reconfigure it. Tricky to do, though, in this bumpy weather. Look at the plane bounce around. Look at the state of my wings. Glad we didn't have to pull any particularly sharp turns back there. I'd have my concerned face on, I think, if I was doing that. The structural integrity of this aircraft has been compromised somewhat. I'm not sure what a maximum load of G would do to these wings right now. And yeah, look, while I wasn't looking, the gyro seems to have been sorted out. Okay, good. Well, folks, I think I'm going to skim treetops all the way home. Alright, folks, we're nearly home. I decided on my way back, because I saw a break in the overcast, a small one, like a little hole in the clouds, and I decided, you know what, why don't I fly up through that hole, up above the clouds, and it turned out to be a very nice idea, because the view is lovely, and the wind is much, much smoother up here. If we look at if we get the info up here, you see the blue arrow on the bottom left on the little compass, that's the wind direction, the speed, in blue written next to it. If we go down below the clouds, if I remember, I'll bring this interface up again, you can see the wind constantly shifting direction and buffeting the aircraft around as we do it. I really do think that the weather modelling... Oh, Victor got something, apparently. That's the first I've heard from any of the squadron in ages. Oh, good for you, Victor. But yeah, I lost my train of thought now. Anyway, yeah, that was the weather. Yeah, one of the things I love about the Great Battles series, which is what we're playing right now. We're playing Battle of Bowden Plateau right now. But what I love about these you know, the IL-2 Great Battles sim is the weather modelling, the wind and the clouds and stuff like that. I'm sure I've said something along these lines before, but I just think it's marvellous. It's something that is so important to real world aviation, and an awful lot of combat flight sims just kind of gloss over it and ignore it. They don't do any proper wind modelling, and they just put a few puffy clouds in the sky and call it a day. Whereas with this game, they really actually made a decent, concerted effort to actually properly do it justice, and I really appreciate them for that, I gotta say. Alright, well, we're nearly there. It's just sort of over in this direction. See if I can make it out through the fog and whatnot. There's Antwerp. And Daeun should be just around the corner. Oh, it's right in front of me, as a matter of fact. Ha-ha! There we go. Right. Right, so as you can see now, I'm not really touching the stick right now, and the plane is just buffeting around like crazy. If I open up this again, and you see how the bottom left there, the little blue arrow is twitching. Left, right, yeah. Anyway, it looks like the wind is coming across from that direction. I'm putting my head in right now, so we can have a bit of a crosswind landing. I'm just going to go fly over the field, do a break to the right to bleed off a lot of our speed, and then we'll get ourselves set up for landing. Hello, boys. Gaston has returned. Get my Belgian waffles on the iron, please. I haven't had my breakfast yet. Lovely. There we go. Lots of the speed bled off now. Let's get the canopy open. Just hitting 160 miles per hour. Gear down. Let's go maximum propeller pitch as well. Full fine. Final approach, for which we are a little shallow, I must admit, actually, right now, but we'll make it work. Okay. Thinking cap on. Let's try and land this thing vaguely properly. Pitch for speed, power for rate of descent. Flaps out, please. Power in. Alright, let's do it. A little bit of a clunker, that one. And brakes on. Nicely done. Flaps up. Let's get this thing off the runway. Not that there's anyone else landing right now, but let's do it anyway, just to get out of the way and be tidy. Oh, steady on that. Let's say we taxi on over to that next to that plane there. And then the ground crew can start working their magic, taping up a few of these holes. Because we do have one or two. Some of them are eerily close to the cockpit seat, actually. Like, not that many inches away from Gaston's head, I noticed. To a stop right about there. Lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Alright. Pop the door open. Engine off. We're home, everybody. And twice in a row now, no ground loops. Hurrah. But yeah, you see what I mean about those holes. Flippin' heck, man. Some of them are quite close to our personage, you know. Mere inches from death. Good heavens, but we're back. I've just noticed that Gaston's pilot model does not have a mustache, and this distresses me greatly, but never mind. We're home and safe. That's what matters. I have to admit, I was slightly worried back there that perhaps the flaps and landing gear systems weren't totally compos mentis after taking so many hits. But luckily they worked just fine in the end, so I think we're good. Right. Climbing out that cockpit, go get some breakfast. What are we claiming today? We definitely totaled one BF-110. Let's see, we damaged the first one, lost track of him. Then we absolutely totaled another one. I think we set him on fire or something. And then that third one, we let him go because we had no ammo left. It says we got 3, but I'll be claiming 1 because what the game thinks and what I actually observed are 2 different things. Lovely. Let's look at the events log. What else happened? Let's see. We flew all the way up here. Doodly doodly do. BF-110 G2 destroyed by us there. 110 G2 destroyed by us there. Another one destroyed by us there, apparently. And then that is the one which it looks like that's the one Victor got. I think the guy flying around with us was Victor at the end there. It just took him forever to do it, but he did eventually get his quarry. Good heavens. Yeah, he made a bit of a pig's ear of it, but he got them in the end. All right, good for you, Victor. All right. Hopefully we all made it home safe. I don't see any markers to show us that any of our squadron mates crashed. So there are apparently a couple of Focke-Wulf 190s in the area as well. Interesting. I never saw hide nor hair of them. I wonder if that's where... No, it just doesn't say they were shot down by our guys. It just says they were shot down. Possibly by flak or something, I'm not sure. And there was some ground activity over there as well from the paratroopers engaging the Germans. All right. I think that's about all she wrote. All right, debriefing time. Here we go. That's the mission summary. Continue with claims. We are claiming a single victory, which was a BF-110 G2. Submit. Technically, we can claim as much as we damn well like, and I think it'll still be accepted in this version of Pat Wilson's campaign generator. But I checked the patch notes for the most up-to-date version of the campaign generator, just out of curiosity to see what changed between this version we're using now and the current version. And actually, he did eventually add damage checking, so if you try and overclaim, you get shut down. So, which is kind of nice, I guess. I tend to underclaim rather than overclaim though myself. So, right, I find it more realistic to claim the stuff that I actually know got shot down. So, if I was playing as the Germans, historically the Germans actually required an eyewitness for their claims. If you were a German pilot, you shot something down, and you wanted to claim it as a victory, to go on your official record, you had to have a wingman actually observe you make the kill. Otherwise, it was denied. They were quite stringent about that, and even then, the Luftwaffe still managed to overclaim. So, kind of funny, really. Anyway, maximum information, start debrief. See that all tick over. This is entirely for the benefit of those of you in the comments who would like to pick through this stuff. But here it all is. You're welcome. Oh, look at that. A Marder 3 was destroyed. That's a type of tank. I think it's a tank destroyer, actually. Interesting. Oh yeah, okay, there we go. Yeah, the game didn't seem to think so, but look, the one of the 190s was actually brought down by Henri. So those two 190s that were destroyed up here, I suspect that's where Henri and our squadron leader got off to. That's where they ended up. In fact, whoa, hello, Victor actually got an A6. He got a 190. Did he? Let's see. Did he also get a 110 as well? Luke, our flight lead, managed to get one apparently. Interesting. This seems to disagree with the game. The game thinks that Victor got that 110. But not the Focke-Wulf, and this is saying the opposite. That's interesting. To be honest with you, I would tend to trust this over the game, actually. I think the game can be a bit unreliable sometimes. But anyway. Debrief completed. We're done with that. Once again, I apologise for the looping music. Cool. Put in a brief bit of narrative. Flew under cloud cover to Nîmes. How do you spell this? Nijmegen. Engaged enemy BF-110s. Damaged 2. Damaged 1. Destroyed another. Damaged a further one before guns went dry. Returned to base afterwards. Boom, done. Just for the sake of the log, really, I put that in there. Let's see, notification of victory. Henri Petit got a Focke-Wulf. He did indeed. He was flying a Spit 14, and yes, he shot down a 190A8. The aircraft went down behind enemy lines. I guess it crashed within the tiny blob of paratroopers on the ground. Victor also got a 190A6. Well done. Luke, he managed to get a 110 G2. So maybe it was Luke. Maybe that was maybe he was the one that we were flying with at the end there, actually. If he got credit for that 110. Yeah. And then there's ours, of course, as well. Brought down a 110 of ZG26. When I used to fly with the ACG guys, there was a German unit in our group that was based on ZG26. They were a fun bunch to fly with, actually. I miss those guys. They flew the 110s, even though everyone knows they're terrible, and they just did it for giggles. It was great. Yeah. Johannes Goldberger was killed in action, sadly. Don't know what became of his gunner, mind you. Doesn't actually tell you, does it? Next page. Gaston has been awarded the Distinguished Flying Cross with bar. Excellent. Gaston's like, with bar? You mean I get alcohol? No, it's not that kind of bar. Oh, I'm disappointed. But okay, yeah, we got the DFC with bar. Not bad. Lovely. Let's have a look. Apparently there wasn't any other news of note. No new replacements to the squadron, but of course we didn't lose anybody, did we? So there you go. Little Henri's got 4 missions under his belt now and 2 victories. Good for him. The new guys, Jehan Labre and Philippe Laforgue. Philippe, really, Laforgue. They both did some sorties while we were gone, apparently. No victories for them, though. Victor has 2 for his 10 sorties. And Luke here, he has 34 missions and only 3 victories. Puh, puh, I say puh, even though that's a far more realistic number. I didn't mean to click equipment, but yes, it looks like we have 3 Mark 9s still in reserve, thankfully. Okay, we're done here, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. What does Luke look like? I haven't seen his picture yet. Where is he? Oh, what a cheerful, handsome chap. Bonjour, Luke. Where's our picture? There we are. I want to look at our awards and citations. There you go. We've got our little DFC ribbon there with the thingy on it. Nice. It's not much, but it's cool. I like it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed our Market Garden themed stint over enemy lines today. I would have liked to have hunted around for ground targets, but I suppose in those weather conditions and with a whole bunch of enemies flying around, I guess it really was never going to happen, was it? And with how limited our ammunition is as well in the Spitfire, unfortunately, but never mind. But yes, we did our part. Shot down some nasty 110s that might have otherwise harassed our ground troops. And next time we'll see what else we're up to as Market Garden continues. Be interesting to observe the progress of that on the map. I hope you'll join me for that, folks. In the meantime, have a good one. I'll see you then.